Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to another episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host, JC, and today we're going to take the mystery out of the brand new Gamo Swarm Magnum Pro 8 Generation 3i. Here it comes, 25 caliber. Yes, they came out with a 25 caliber Swarm. We're going to get out all the details. We're going to show you the performance here in a minute. But before we get started, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down in the corner. Won't cost you anything. It's absolutely free, but it really does help support the channel. Also, as far as supporting the channel, check out my website, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, I've got the Generation 2 bipods that you can see are mounted on this new Gamo. I got the Gamo trigger screws, and I'm going to show you in the video the difference between before and after with the trigger screw. Done it before, but I'm going to show you again just to refresh your memory. Also have the rec scopes. Did limited supply of those, but when they're gone, they're gone. Have the t-shirts and the hats, and then check out my inventory. I like to rotate things through so I can get new stuff to show you guys. All right, back to the subject on hand. This is similar to the other Pro models, but this one is in 25 caliber. And the difference is in the Pro, you get the Pro stock. This is not the thumb hole stock. This is the Pro stock. The regular Gamo Swarm Magnum is the thumb hole stock. So remember that. The Pro, no thumb hole. All right. This does have the whisper technology, and it makes it really, really quiet. It really does. It does have their IGT Mach 1 piston, which is also 33 millimeters. So this is the most powerful Gamo rifle put out there. And yes, it does come with a cocking effort. They claim it's a 41-pound cocking effort. I think it's a little bit more, but that's what they're claiming. It does come with a 8-round magazine. Goes right in the top there. You guys can see that. I like these magazines because they're really easy to top off. You just rotate them and drop the pellet in. Rotate, drop the pellet in. So they're really cool that way. 8 rounds right there, and you get spare ones too for that. Does come with a scope, and I went ahead and decided let's just use this scope for the review. It's actually not bad. It will get you by. It just doesn't have an adjustable objective, and those of you who like to shoot at various distances, the adjustable objective gives you a lot more clarity because you can really fine-tune it. This does come with the cat trigger. Again, I'm going to show you guys the performance on the cat, the before and the afters. Let's see. They claim this will shoot up to about 965 feet per second with an alloy pellet. Velocity, I don't really worry about velocity. Tell me what the foot-pounds of energy. They claim it's going to get 33 foot-pounds of energy. Okay? If you're just going on velocity, you could use a really lightweight pellet that's basically not accurate and is completely worthless. It might get you 965 feet per second, but you can't hit the broadside of a barn with. But I want to know the power. So the key is anytime you're looking at these guns, especially when it comes to hunting, look for foot-pounds of energy. They're claiming this will give you 33 foot-pounds of energy, which is absolutely impressive for a break barrel rifle. The unique thing about this is notice the orange color. The magazine has the orange on it here. The release, little orange clicker on it here, the release on it there. It also has the orange band on the back, and that you know is a hunter, and you know it's 25 caliber. This rifle is 49.2 inches long. It's got a 21-inch barrel, and it weighs just under 7 pounds, 6.8 pounds. So, like I said, it's quite the performer. If you notice, as I said before, the Gen 2 bipods are put on this, and I'm just going to point this out. If you notice, I put the rails directly in front of the side mounting screws. Depending on the rifle, depending on the brand, you either like to go in front or behind the side mounting stock bolts. Okay, this one, if you're going to get them for this one, it definitely goes in front. But what a solid shooting platform. But I'm going to show this to you. So let's go out. I'm going to show you the performance of this, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. Okay, so stay tuned for the next segment. All right, let's test the Swarm Magnum Pro over the chronograph, and we'll see what type of velocity and foot-pounds of energy we get. We're going to use the most accurate pellets to do our test here. It's the Barracuda Green. These are a 20 grain pellet. They're a 20 grain pellet. So we'll shoot 5 shots. We'll see how it averages out. I'm going to guess we're going to have 30 plus pounds of foot-pounds of energy, 30 plus. Anyway, let's do 5 shots. Yep, that's 50 pounds, all right, of effort, cocking effort. All right, shot number 1, 860. Shot number 2, 857. Shot number 3, 865. Shot number 4, 864, and one more shot. That's a pretty good standard deviation so far for a new rifle. All right, one more shot. 860. Not too shabby, that's for sure. This is going to settle in a little bit after you put about 200 rounds through it. Right now it's got about 50 rounds through it. So, but anyway, but you saw what's your feet per second and your foot-pounds of energy. Not too shabby, well over that 30-pound mark. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's do a little accuracy test with our Swarm Magnum Pro. Once again, same pellets that we used on the Chrono we're going to use here. Uses Barracuda greens, or about a 20 grain pellet. We're going to be shooting at our little 4-inch splatter burst. These are great, they really show the impact points really well. So I'll leave you guys a link down below if you're interested in these. They're pretty cool. All right, check out our distance. It's our usual break barrel distance, 60 feet, 20 yards, whatever you want to call it. Go ahead and check that out real quick. You see our little 4-inch target down there. All right, let's just shoot 5 shots and we'll average it out. And remember, we're going on grouping, so we don't care if it's dead center. We just want to see how tight a group we can shoot. All right. Oh my God, that is every bit of 50 pounds. All right, shot number 1. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. Yeah, this is a workout. And shot number 5. God, these bipods make such a difference, guys. That and the trigger screw, that combination, oh my goodness. There you go. There's your 5-shot group. Yeah, these bipods make all the difference in the world. And then when you lighten that trigger up, get that right around that 2-pound trigger. Oh, it's amazing, it really is. But anyway, there's our accuracy. You guys see it. I'm telling you, these things just keep performing with these Barracuda greens. They really do. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, we're going to test our trigger on our Swarm Magnum Pro here, our 25 cal. What we're going to do, I'm going to test this out of the box, which this is right now, and then I'm going to update it with my trigger screw kit, best $10 you ever spend. We're going to test it again. I want to show you guys the difference, okay? All right, so we got our trusty Lyman trigger gauge here. Okay, 4 pounds, 9/10 of an ounce. 4 pounds, 9/10 of an ounce. Not a horrible trigger out of the box, it's not, but it's 4 pounds. Now, let me show you the difference. All right, now let's test it with the trigger screw kit. We're gonna give you an updated trigger pull here. All right, got our trusty Lyman trigger gauge. We're all reset. £1 pound, 11 ounces. 1 pound, 11 ounces. Telling you guys, best $10 you'll ever spend on your Gamo break barrel rifle that has a SAT or a CAT trigger. I'm telling you, it's a great investment. You see, match style trigger. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's do a little plinking here with our new Gamo 25 cal, our Swarm here. We're gonna use the same pellets we did in our accuracy test because they're the best, the Barracuda green. They're around a 20 grain pellet. But we're usual 40 yards back. Go ahead and check that out. We've got a large ram there, some small steel eggs, and a shotgun shell. So we'll see how accurate we are at 40 yards. Now, we are still using the stock scope. This is not the greatest scope, but it will definitely get you by. It's a lot better than some of these other manufacturers when they include a scope. This is actually some pretty clear glass. So anyway, it'll get you by. I'd prefer to upgrade it, but in this review, we're just going to use this scope. So let's see how well we can do here. All right, I already cocked the first one. So let's start with the shotgun shell on the right side there. And that would be a hit. This is a pretty accurate rifle. So you always want to reach out as far as you can up on that muzzle brake and cock it, get the most leverage. Because this is not for the feeble. Once again, that's about a 50-pound cocking effort. All right, let's go for the first egg there. Dismiss. Oh, this thing just hits like a freaking sledgehammer. All right, another egg. All right. I'm telling you, you get a workout. Okay, next little egg. Whoa, I think that was me. I pulled it a little bit to let you know, guys. Okay, let's try this again. Yep, that last one was me. I flinched just a little bit. But hey, we got 8 shots here. Whoa. And let's see if we can take this ram out. Now, notice how hard it hits this ram. Oh, exactly where I was aiming. You hunters know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, this is our Gamo 25 caliber Magnum Swarm. Pretty impressed. I do like the little orange details on it too. You can definitely tell it's the 25 caliber. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up with our conclusion. Well, what did you guys think of the Swarm Magnum Pro, our 25 caliber? I thought it was simply awesome. Awesome rifle. Awesome rifle. Negatives on this? Don't have any. Just don't have any negatives. I mean, if you want to talk about a heavy cocking effort, but hey, it might be a little closer to the 50 pounds and 40 pounds. But if you want power, it goes hand in hand with a cocking effort. Just remember that. More power, more cocking effort. But man, is this thing smooth. Let's talk about the positives. First of all, I love the Pro Style stock. And it works fantastic with the bipods. You guys saw what stable shooting platform this is. But I love the stock. I mean, it is definitely a weapons grade synthetic. It's so heavy duty. It just feels so comfortable. It really does. Cat trigger, gotta love the cat trigger. Showed you guys the before and after, and I showed you how you can upgrade it to a match style simply with my $10 trigger kit. So check that out. Performance-wise, as far as power goes, we achieved our 33 foot-pounds of energy as advertised. Remember, velocity can be, who knows, all over the place. But it's the foot-pounds of energy, especially for hunting. So this gives you clearly your 33 foot-pounds of energy, which is great. The accuracy on this, oh my God, it was simply amazing. I think between the upgrade with the trigger and the bipods, it really helps with that because it gives it just a very, very solid, stable shooting platform. It really does. But yeah, the accuracy was just fantastic. These Gamo rifles and new ones, they are really loving those H&N Barracuda, the alloys. I mean, you saw on the 22s I've done in the past, and even the 25s, and this 25 loves it. So that's really good to figure that out. See, I do all the research on these pellets for you. So I give you this information right away, so it's going to save you time and money rather than going through all kinds of different pellets. So anyway, I gave you the most accurate pellets. This honestly is a perfect hunting rifle. The 8-round magazine just makes it absolutely perfect. It's got the nice whisper technology, so it's nice and quiet. This is totally backyard friendly, by the way. But You know, there's something to be said. Yeah, I like PCPs. There's something to be said about them. You know, the power, the accuracy, no recoil. But there's also something to be said about a completely self-contained air rifle that does not need any outside air source that puts out 33 foot-pounds of energy. I mean, there's just no limit. You just go. And as long as you can, like I said, this is not for the weary. You got to be able to cock this thing to be able to use it. So just remember that. But then again, as I've mentioned before in these heavy cocking break barrels, it's like getting your workout with you, you know. I would definitely, at some point, I would upgrade the scope on this. I just want to show you guys, this will definitely get you by. The glass is not bad on it. But I would do, especially if you're going to hunt, like a nice mil dot, something of that sort. But I would eventually think about upgrading the scope. Now, how would I rate this rifle overall? You guys know how I'm going to rate this. First of all, we're getting power. It's quiet, extremely accurate, and it has amazing trigger once you do that little $10 upgrade. So honestly, 5 stars all the way, 5 stars. Think about it, it's probably one of the most, if not the most powerful break barrel air rifle in 25 caliber that has an 8-round magazine. So you got plenty of rounds there for follow-up shots. So anyway, solid rifle, absolute pleasure to shoot. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Airgun Detectives. Don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the airgun. Until next time, I hope you and your families are doing great and you're getting plenty of shooting in. So take care and God bless.